Okay. My parents spent most of their 5-year marriage in France. Letters they wrote give me details about their move to France in 1955, after they were married in Texas, and their transatlantic split in 1959-60. Between those dates, my brother Cooper and I were born. After their divorce, France symbolized the rancor separating them. At first, the newlyweds enjoyed European life. Shirley and Mark moved to France so Dad could pursue a career in the auto industry with a day job as a mechanic on a U.S. Air Force base in Châteauroux, 2 hours by train south of Paris. In a letter to her parents, Mom wrote about Paris. Wednesday, we walked to the section where the fine shops are. All the shops are beautiful. Didn't buy anything except the thing for my hair. Signs of dissatisfaction appeared after they found a temporary place to live. Mark likes it here in the country, but it is too lonely since cleaning is nothing, and then all I have to do is read or sit. So into town we go. 2, I want a bathroom of my own. Photo albums show happy scenes. My parents wore stylish outfits at car shows. I'm decked out in cute toddler outfits and a beret and clutch baguettes bigger than me. I remember nothing of France, although I must have known as much French as a 2-year-old could. In 1959, fed up with Dad's feckless spending, Mom traded the south of France for her hometown in the south of Texas. Our home had some evidence of France. The kitchen was decorated with naughty dogs, a drawing of dogs peeing against a wall that was popular with tourists. We had the photo albums, which I still have. My mother was friends with a saleswoman named Paulette with a charming French accent at her favorite clothing store, the Valley Mercantile in McAllen, Texas. And Mom liked to say, tout de suite, quickly. But France carried heavy emotional baggage. For Mom, France embodied what she loathed about my father. His Eurocentric snobbery, his disdain for her and her Texas roots, his self-absorption. My father lamented that my brother and I didn't speak French, didn't travel around Europe, didn't appreciate opera and ballet, and didn't have affairs with beautiful older women, like all the sophisticated French certainly do. I saw no middle ground between them. So France never ranked high on my list of adolescent interests. To do so felt like a betrayal of my mother. My father moved away and visited us one weekend in 10 years. As an adult, I studied Russian, Yiddish, Portuguese, and Hebrew, but not French. I finally visited France in September 1984. My mother had died of cancer that January. I was a freelance writer between relationships, and so, well, why not? I took the train to Paris, from Paris to Châteauroux. I was a pilgrim, desperate to see the places where my mother had lived and where I had begun living. I wrote about the experience in a publication called New Men's News, titled, In Search of Memories, I wrote, I had to see Châteauroux. Once there, I walked down one road, then back, confused. Now what? The staff at the local tourist office couldn't speak English. I couldn't speak French. I indicated with a State Department birth certificate form that I wanted to find the Air Force Base. They shook their heads. Gone. They did sketch a route to the old Base Americaine on a map. With this help, I strolled through the noontime streets. I clutched every detail and thought, so this is it. Little cars were parked on the sidewalks. Parents and children walked hand in hand. And my throat tightened. There, 25 years ago, went I. Returning to Paris, I felt relieved and somehow empty. A part of me will always be vacant, but the search cleared away that gnawing I felt inside. There's no place left to go except headlong into my own history. That line, there, 25 years earlier, went I, reaches out 40 years later to describe the French connection I still explore. In the past decade, I became a big fan of French cinema of the 50s and 60s. Breathless, Jules and Jim, Rafifi, The Umbrellas of Cherbourg, Alphaville. Viewing them, I find myself peering around corners, watching those families and couples, the cars and fashions, mentally strolling down the rain-glistening boulevards and wondering about the great what-ifs of life. What if my parents' marriage remained intact and we settled into expatriate life. What if they divorced but our mother remained in France and my brother and I had a bicultural upbringing? What if we all returned stateside, my parents divorced, but our father took my brother and me to France to explore whatever it was he wanted us to know? That's a mildly plausible scenario, but it requires a radically overhauled father, one I cannot imagine. Since that pilgrimage to Châteauroux, self-acceptance and curiosity replaced that vacant feeling. I can't change the past, only the present. I'll be back to France, I'm sure. A visit, some maturity, and that stack of airmail letters colored in some of the blank slate spaces on my life's cartography. What more can I say? C'est la vie. Thank you.